Another key takeaway, I think, is this idea that, which is actually an old idea around circle of competence, or understanding where you have an edge and where you don't, and electing to play the games that you can win and you think you can win over and over and over again because of your edge versus not. Is this something that almost every great investor has, or is it possible for a great investor actually to go into markets where they don't have an edge, and because they're a great investor, a great thinker, they can be successful?
I think pretty much without exception, the great investors I've met have this tendency to stick to games that they specifically can win. And this was something, it came through to me very clearly when I spent time with Ed Thorpe, who was not only an extraordinary hedge fund manager who didn't have a losing quarter in 20 years with his hedge fund, but also figured out how to count cards and beat the casino at blackjack. He was kind of the inventor of card counting, as I understand it. Then figured out how to beat the casino at roulette. So here's a guy who's the ultimate game player. And he said to me, look, if I don't have an edge, I don't play. And so when I talked to him about this question, I said to him, well, so how can I tell if I have an edge? And he said, well, if you don't have a rational reason to think that you have an edge, then you almost certainly don't. And that for me was quite unsettling, because I started to think, well, so when it comes to buying individual stocks, for example, do I have an edge? And I'm pretty certain that I don't. I mean, it's pretty clear to me that I don't have the best temperament for this, that I don't necessarily have the technical knowledge, that I don't have the patience to analyze balance sheets and the like. I'm not that interested in going through the numbers really patiently and seeing whether there's a discrepancy or a lie or something in a footnote hidden. That's just not what interests me. And so that for me was a really profound realization, just to learn from Ed Thorpe. Okay, so if I don't have an edge at this particular game of picking individual stocks, let me just not play that game. That's not a game that I'm likely to win. And so occasionally I violate it. And I violated it again a couple of weeks ago and bought an individual stock. And it kind of tortures me, because I'm aware that it's an irrational and stupid thing for me to do, that I'm much better off just giving the money to someone else who's better equipped to win that game. And so for your listeners, I just think that's an incredibly important idea of sticking to games that you're equipped to win, and avoiding games that you're really not equipped to win. And it sounds so obvious, but most of us don't do it. And so what's really striking is how many of the great investors end up telling you, no, you should just index. And that in a way is the most rational thing for most of us to do. Howard Marks says most investors should index most of their money. And so part of my default position in investing my own money is that I own a couple of index funds, because I sort of figure I should try not to delude myself into thinking this is a game I'm likely to win. But then I also figure I've spent 25 years interviewing many great investors. And so I do figure I might have some edge in terms of picking good fund managers, because I know a lot of them. And so it's possible that I have an edge there. And so I do own about 3 actively managed funds. But I think that, again, is a really good filter of just asking yourself, do I have a rational reason to believe that I have an edge? And let me stick to games in which I do have an edge.
What's up, guys? Bang, bang. It's your boy, Pomp. Thanks so much for watching the Best Business Show. Our goal is to make this the largest, most actionable business show in the world. And to do that, we need your help. We've partnered with SoFi as our exclusive sponsor because they have a piece of software that we think will help you take the information that we share on a daily basis and make it actionable. We want every single person to pursue and achieve financial security and financial freedom. In order to do that, you gotta act. And SoFi allows you to do it. So you can go to SoFi.com/pomp today. You can open up an account. And when you open up an account, you can invest in all sorts of different types of assets. ETFs, individual stocks, IPOs, Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies. They even have an automated investing function. If you want to invest, SoFi can help you. They've got a couple of different offers that you can benefit from. The first, open an invest account, and they'll give you up to $1,000 for free. Kind of a no-brainer. Second is if you go on and you buy one of the cryptocurrencies that they offer, they'll go ahead and they'll give you $10 of Bitcoin for free. And third, some of you are saying, I already have a brokerage account. I already have an account somewhere else. Right now, you can get up to $5,000 for transferring your account. That's right. SoFi doesn't care where your current account is, but if you transfer it from that place to SoFi, they'll pay you up to $5,000 for doing it. Why wouldn't you do it? It's up to $5,000 for free. Head on over to SoFi.com/Pomp today to get started. And come back tomorrow and watch more of the Best Business Show. Together, we're going to build the biggest show in the world.